Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I think I have everything I need in order to build the rocket silo. 1,000 steel, 200 processing units, 200 electric engine units, 100 pipe, and 1,000 concrete. Our electric engine units are right here. Just going to go ahead and pick up that buffer chest because we don't need it anymore. And yeah, let's get it built. Bus lanes are looking pretty good. Steel and the green circuits are flowing. They look a little bit light. However, we do have 2 full lanes there. We do have a full belt coming down of excess. And everything looks like it's building okay. A little bit of a shortage here, but all the machines are running except for you. Well, I'm sure it'll catch back up. All these are looking good. All these are looking good. And the ones down here on the very end. I did end up adding a couple of additional red circuit makers just right here. Just to kind of help fill up that red line again. It's all looking pretty good right now. And yeah, I started working on the rocket facility. I was thinking about making a rocket launch area down there, but after a little bit of consideration, you know, it just didn't seem appropriate to do that. There was a much better place to do it. So I wasted a little bit of belt, a little bit of concrete, and a little bit of stone. And by a little bit, I mean like an excessive amount. Let's see, this isn't right here. That will not do. There we go, that'll get fixed up. And yeah, we've got a lot of excess stuff here. A big, huge, giant belt buffer that we may do something about someday. But, you know, I just couldn't not put our rocket launch facility up here with our buddy Bruce. And one thing I've noticed is that he can't hurt me anymore. It's our 2 level 2 Mark II energy shields basically make us Bruce immune. So we can just hang out here all day long. It does stack, so you'll see the little red bar pop up every now and again. But yeah, no, he can't hurt us at all. He still can hurt the things around there, though, so we have to be a little bit cautious. And I'm hoping we'll be able to put this rocket facility here, and he will not attack it, because it is under the military section. And it appears he likes to talk about it, but he's not attacking it, which is fine. Okay, we'll throw our productivity modules in there. We do not want to auto-launch with cargo. And let's go ahead and get our rocket building here. Basically, just have those 3 lines coming in, and those will feed to little buffer chests here, which will get inserted into this. Since we have the productivity, that basically means we get rocket parts for free. Once this bar fills up, we get a free one. So it's pretty big savings when it comes to the amount of materials you actually need to launch the rocket. And it is dark in here, and he's spitting at me. Stop it, Bruce. But I have a stack inserter right here that's going to be sending out the science to a active provider chest. And then we have our requester chest right here where we can request our satellite when we are ready to go. So yeah, that's gonna go and build the rocket. I want to do a little bit of a base tour. I believe this is going to be the final episode of this particular series. We'll talk a little bit more about the next one here in a bit. But let's go ahead and we'll get the intro rolled, and we'll do our base tour. Alright, just hitting these outposts from map view. We got really fortunate here to get this particular outpost that had an iron, a copper, and a coal deposit all in one. I mean, that's 3 outposts in one right there. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I didn't really go crazy with doing building trains and stuff like that. We have our oil outpost right here that was added later, and then a stone outpost up here that would last us for probably about 7 million years. That's a lot of stone there, 23 million. And then our uranium outpost up here that, again, probably last 5 million years with the amount of uranium we have there. Yeah, there's the full map. This is, if you haven't been following along, this is, we started out on the island. It's basically infinite water in every single direction. This is all the land on the entire map, if I understand that map setting correctly. We had to go out and clear all of the biters. It sounds like there's a couple of them here on this little islands that we have down here. We may explore those someday. But the bulk of the biters are all on this little peninsula sort of area here. We got them walled off with gun turrets. And, oh, here comes some right now. What's the ammo looking like here? Still pretty good. So, yeah, we're basically got all the biters walled off there, so they should not bother us at all. We do have a group of enemies right here. Those are just worms, so they're not really hurting anything. But that brings stuff in here to our main train station, where I almost get hit by a train. Pretty standard stuff. We've got a coal station, stone, iron. This is my personal train, a building train, I would call it, but it's not really set up that way. We have our oil train here, copper, and, you know, I had originally planned to make this an additional iron station. I thought we were going to need more steel. Turned out we actually didn't. So... Oh, I was doing so good. I was doing so good. Wow, almost 30 hours on this map. I feel like that's an improvement. Right there in the middle. You know, yeah, that happens. I think the last series it was this last series or the series before that, I just got hammered by trains, like, just all the time, constantly. Okay, so yeah, then we have these two extra stations right here that really aren't doing a whole lot. We could probably just get rid of them, or at least recycle all of their stuff so that it might be used for other things. I don't think we're going to need them. I don't think we're going to need them at all. And yes, there's different ways I could be doing this, but it's kind of zen. I feel like I've got the little fork with the pile of sand. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah. And, oh, this cross. Never mind, we'll just move on. Okay, and we have our uranium station here, finally last at the end. It takes in sulfuric acid and drops off uranium here. Our power setup, we are 100% nuclear right now. I actually don't really want to be, but we are. And we'll look at that maybe toward the end of the episode. But yeah, we have a 4-reactor setup here that is basically just reading the steam and only inserting fuel when they need it. We've got 4 uranium processors here. And actually, you know what? We don't even need these speed modules in here. That's just wasting electricity. Our nuclear fuel reprocessor right there, that all feeds down to here into buffer chests, which come down in here to the Covarex setup that is working fine now. We are stopped here with 1 in the can, so this is not sending its stuff out. So this won't get clogged up anymore. Nuclear fuel right here, and that is feeding the reactor, and we could probably feed, I don't know, maybe like 20 more of these setups with this current setup. I believe I don't remember how many reactors one of these will support, but it's something crazy like 20. And since we put the steam back up here, that expands out the number of reactors this can support, like, significantly, especially since we're really not using that much power. So yeah, we could go on with that for a while. Some folks had asked about the blueprint for this. I will post both of those in the description of this video if I remember it, as well as in the description of some other videos. I've never posted that nuclear reactor setup, even though I've used it a couple of times. And what do we got going on here? Oh, this is, okay. I see what we're doing here. This needs to come down. And you need to go like that. All right, and that leads us down to smelting. We currently have 2 steel smelting setups, 6 copper, 5 copper, I meant, and 4 iron. It seems to be doing pretty well. Those are fed from the trains as well as from a deposit we have over here, which is still going strong, surprisingly. But yeah, no, still going great. Still being fed quite well. What are we looking at here? Why is this the way that it is? That'll help a little bit, maybe. Yeah, but we get some of the items coming in here. Those are all coming in here and combining through balancers with what the train brings. I did the size 2 trains. They're fine. I typically do 4s. I've done 2s in a couple of series now, and it seems just fine. Seems great. They have no problem bringing in 4 lines, which is typically what you need. Sometimes you need a little bit more. I did have to put 2 copper trains on this line, though, to keep it full, because we're actually going through copper quite quickly. So just adding an additional copper train fixed that right up. But that goes down to smelting. We have stone right here, which is producing our stone bricks. We've actually probably got too many of these. I just left the blueprint filled in whenever I was planning stuff out. We could probably get by with half of these. I never even upgraded them. Even with the higher stone demands in this version, wasn't really even feeling it. Oil setup right here. We just recently moved that, but that all refines and comes down to here, where we have our cracking up here, solid fuel down here, plastic over here, sulfuric acid down here, lubricant over there, and it's all worked out just wonderfully. And that all leads here, where we have the main bus. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Could have probably got away with 6, but I decided to build on both sides of the bus this time around. I typically only go on one side if I'm busing a lot of things on the bus, because I always like to have one side open for spare bus lanes. So I went a little bit excessive on the bus lanes. Actually, there's only 6. This one is the collision bus. It's the fluid bus. I guess it kind of counts. But yeah, we ended up with just this middle lane that was basically empty all the way down. We could have done it easily with one less, I believe. But yeah, I basically made it where we've got our green circuits, our red circuits over on this side as well. This goes down into batteries and then into robot frames. Most of my intermediate sort of products I put over here. We have our robot making facility. Blue circuits, low-density structures, control units, rocket fuel, and finally satellites. And then most of the science building stuff I kept on this side of the bus. So we have our purple and yellow science right here, blue and black, and blue is falling behind. Blue is always falling behind. I don't know what is... I guess it's probably something to do with it being close to the amount of machines you need, while a lot of the other sciences are maybe just be a little bit over. I'm not sure, but it's always behind on this. We have the right number of machines, I'm pretty sure. I guess production would be the best way to look at that. keeps jumping around. Okay, let's go to 10 minutes. 45, so yeah, we're hitting the mark. 45 science a minute is what we were shooting for. So yeah, it's doing fine. It's just lagging behind the others. And then we got red and green science right here. That feeds into our sushi science setup, which seems a little small to me, but it's been doing okay. I mean, we've researched all the science. We just have the infinite sciences as well as, I'm not going to call them garbage sciences, but, you know, it's the breaking forces of the world. The inserter capacity bonuses, those are actually not bad. But yeah, I mean, we just have the logistic slots and things like that left. All the big things are researched. But yeah, it's been doing well. No complaints there. And then we move over here into the mall. I like the way this ended up. And you know what? Somebody had pointed out that... where is it? Ah, right here. This one right here is still yellow, so we weren't getting that full red belt going through. It was fine. We haven't really been using blue belt, but once we start using, if we start using blue belt, those gears are just going to disappear. And if we do expand out into blue belt, I'll probably make another dedicated blue belt making facility, just because that's how inadequate this mall is for the blues. It's nice if you just need like a chest that you just need a couple of them every now and then, but for mass production of those things, it's just not optimal. Get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, the mall. It's worked out pretty well though. I like the 17 update. No, it's been fine. I really don't have any complaints. We haven't really wanted for anything. And no, it's been great. The concrete, I increased the number of concrete machines that we had. And I ended up putting a additional holder down here for concrete because a lot of the big concreting things that we required, a lot of the big concrete projects that we did just required a ton of concrete, so we needed some of it down here. I need to rethink this, I think. I don't think that needs to be there anymore. How... Let's see, you should be requesting concrete. Maybe like 3,000 of it. And how much are you requesting? You're not requesting any either. Okay, and I think I had that set up because I was wanting to buffer it all down there just for the construction. All right, let's just throw all that stuff in there for now. I would like a way... I need to think about a way to get it to where all three of these machines can be used to build if we've got like a big concrete job to do, that all three of them can be used to participate in that. And that may be ample. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But that's really the only problem I've had with the mall is concrete production. Yeah, but that's the base. That's the base. And, I don't know, it's, you know, I called this series Back to Basics. I wasn't going to do anything too crazy with it. I wasn't going to go, do any nutso ideas, just a very straightforward base. I just wanted to get kind of familiar with the 17 mechanics. Overall, I mean, it's good. It's very good. I like the biggest features, of course, I think, that I'm going to draw to are the copy and paste of the blueprints. That is just so, that's just so good. Being able to cut stuff, being able to copy stuff. I was using a mod earlier called Blueprint Shortcuts that did just that. The only thing that I'm missing right now is a shortcut key to bring up the deconstruction planner that has the trees on there. But I'm, if the mod's not updated to support that, then I'm going to go through and add it in myself because that was just super handy. But we have everything else. We have the cut, copy, paste. We have the bring up a blueprint, alt bring up a blueprint, alt bring up a deconstruction planner. Does Alt U bring up the upgrade planner? It sure does. So we've actually got a little bit more and a little bit less than what the mod provided. Those are good things. Let's see, the quick replace stuff. I really liked that. That I believe was a good change. If you watch any of my 16 series, you will see me complain about that at least 20 times. So very grateful for that. I understand it's not a extremely straightforward problem. And they went the right way with it. The science changes, okay. I know they have reasons for rebalancing the science recipes, and it's not just balance. They're trying to direct new players into creating the right things, getting defense up, getting walls. That was good. Making railroad track, yeah, it's fine. It's good. The robot frames, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it kind of forces you to get bots. I mean, I never had a bot factory like this going in any of my other previous series. I mean, I guess I did. But we weren't making robot frames in mass. It's good. It's fine. Having robot frames on the bus is just fine. UI graphics overhaul, I think it's great. I didn't really get a chance to explore some of the bar things just because I really don't use it. But no, it's all good. They're all good changes. Everything looks fantastic. I like the new kind of blocky looks. It works. It completely works. Really like that. All the science stuff, it's good. It took a little while to get used to, but I'm used to it now. I mentioned this earlier. The queue, it's. If you go back and read the Friday facts now, I was like, I completely didn't understand. Why would you not want this in there? There was a Friday facts where they were like, we're pulling out the research queue just because reasons. And I was totally against it at the time. I get it now. If you go back and read that Friday facts, I kind of feel the same way. It's just, whatever. It's okay. Fine. Really kind of unimpressed with it, but it delays the inevitable, right? You don't have to select your science each time. You can queue a lot of it up. The true answer is the auto research mod, and next series when I play with mods, I'm gonna just install that, and we'll just completely forget about science, and auto research will take care of it all. Because going through and selecting the sciences, not the most rewarding part of the game, I'll say. And the train stuff, the train UI, I didn't play a whole lot with it, but I like it. I think it's a good direction. I think it's working. I'd mentioned before that I would like a collapse on this. I think that would be handy, especially for things like building trains where they get like a lot of stations. This is just, there's just a lot going on here, and a lot of this information I don't need. I just need to be able to send my train around. I use this as a driver for this guy. So what does like this do? And these buttons toggle station names. Oh, toggle centering on locomotive. Open this location in the map. Oh, okay. So yeah, no, it's good. It's fine. It's a good thing. Good UI. Just thinking about some of the other high points, I think those are pretty much them. Boy, I'm sure there's probably something I'm forgetting. The new biters, all those look good. I really didn't have the much of a challenge here. I don't know. I watched some other series where people were struggling a little bit more with biters. Granted, I know some of them had chosen death worlds and had a little bit of fun with that. But yeah, no, biters really just haven't been a thing at all. Other than a minor annoyance. I don't know if I just kind of lucked out or what happened. It kind of makes me want to play on a desert map just to get a better idea and maybe go Death World just to see. Definitely going around and attacking them. You have to think a little bit on your feet now, or you didn't have to do that before. But I like the changes. I like this bit even a little bit. I don't know. It adds kind of a new dimension to the game. Adds something to avoid. As Bruce here has shown us the whole game, the sounds of the worms are fantastic. Really, really, really like those. Let's see, what else has changed? Fluid, I know we didn't get the new fluid system yet. It's still in the works. Apparently there have been some optimizations. I've never had UPS issues in this game, so I've never really noticed them. I'm not bragging. I use an old Dwarf Fortress trick, right? And I think that's why I've been having so few UPS problems. There's a UPS counter, FPS counter that you can have. If you just turn that off, those problems go away for a really, really, really long time. Because if you're not looking at the number, you're just playing the game, right? And you don't even notice there used to be an FPS death on Dwarf Fortress that would happen all the time. And what people recommended that you do is just turn off that counter. And whenever you get to the point where it's so slow that you notice it, you'll realize just how low it can get before it's really, really unplayable. So yeah, that trick works really well for Factorio as well. If you think you're having UPS problems, one way to fix it really quickly is to just turn off the counter, and then you don't have to look at it anymore, and you just play the game and live your life, and things work out. Now, I realize that there are people out there that don't have very high-end PCs or even medium. I mean, you're playing this with minimum system requirements. I understand that. That's not what I'm saying at all. You guys are the real champs. But for a lot of folks out there that are really, really concerned about the UPS problems, the posts and stuff that I've seen where people are really concerned about it, one easy fix I would recommend for them is to just turn off the counter, and I think that would solve most of their problems. Just stop worrying about the number, and then it's no longer a problem. Well, I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and request one satellite, and that should get that ready to go. Let's see. This is in robot range. It is totally not. All right, let's get that into robot range. Go ahead and build this from the map. Boy, we could probably run down there and run back in time. Kind of wanting to silence Bruce there a bit. He was being a little bit much. All right, we got a roboport down there. Do we have a robot on the way? Or has one already come and visited us? Nope, not yet. Oh, is this in logistic range? Yeah, it is. Just barely, but it is. I feel like something's been goofy with robots. I haven't been quite able to put my finger on what it is exactly, but I've definitely been feeling it. You guys are currently building, so that means that the robot did come and pick it up. I've noticed that there's been a lot of times where there's been a lot of work for the logistic robots to do, and a lot of them haven't been going out and doing said thing. I've noticed the same thing for construction, where there was a lot of construction jobs, and there might be only 20 construction bots active. I haven't really noted what it was, and I probably need to, before I start complaining about it. Something seems off with robots. So I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's definitely something there. I feel like there might be something there, but put it that way. All right, well, I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and start the launch sequence. And we'll come up here and sit with Bruce and watch the rocket take off. We haven't seen the new rocket silo, rocket launch. Is there anything new with that? Oh, not so much. Win the game without building solar panels. Okay. And win the game without. All right, I've already got those achievements. I don't know why I'm getting it again. And yeah, just under 30 hours with 1 player death. Well, that is fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this series up here with that. This is the base. Thank you very, very much for watching. In the next series, I've got a couple of ideas, and 2 of them involve continuing on with this base. One of them, I think we're kind of low on materials, but then again, I kind of look around and we're kind of not. So we may be able to expand this out a little bit more and just kind of see what we can get from that. I'm also thinking about doing a kind of an experimental sushi setup for a base. That's another thing I have in mind. And another thing is to just scrap this base and start fresh somewhere else. Maybe do something like a Death World or really, really bug-intensive one, which is something that I owe you from the last series, I believe. I'm still thinking about it, but I will let you know when the next series starts. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.